So, Mayans M.C. airs for the first time on British television on Saturday night. Want to find out more? Catch you inside.
RevelatorAlf.
Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf, the channel about motorcycle exploring, biking issues and lifestyle. Please subscribe and hit the notifications bell down there. So, the long-awaited Sons of Anarchy spin-off series, Mayans M.C., was first aired on British television last Saturday night on BBC Two. Just about 10:40 p.m. and I had a double bill of that just to kick off the series. So, was it any good? Well, first of all, you have to separate it from the Sons of Anarchy, which was a very hugely successful series that ran on for 7 series. And it's in a different area, different club, different mentality, that kind of thing. But where Sons of Anarchy worked so well is that it focused within the inner workings of the club. So whilst there are lots of stories going on week in, week out, and yes, it got quite fanciful at times, you might argue, but it's still centered within the inner workings of the club, within the different characters of the club. However, Mayans MC hasn't started off like that. There is a story of the club, there's a story of a particular character from within the club, a new prospect. But there's also, because it's based right on the American-Mexican border, it's close links with Mexico and also the Mexican drug cartels, the Galindo cartel, the fictional cartel there. So it's the story is split between Mayans MC and the Galindo cartel so far. Now, yes, there's a whole story brewing up, and it's quite good. I mean, it's filmed really nicely, very Sons of Anarchy-like in many ways. Yes, it's still the same. The inner workings of the MC is on display, but obviously with the Latino flavor and influences. It's really good that they're speaking a lot of Spanish as well. And it's subtitled, but it's they're being authentic to the area, to the place, and to the theme of the series, and to the Mayans MC, which are a Latino-based club. It's interesting how they've chosen to almost split the series, as I say, between the club and also the drug cartel. It's almost like they are always linked, they're always fused together in some way or another. Whether this happens in real life or not, between Mexican cartel gangs and biking clubs, I don't know. But that's the way it's being portrayed, that they're, while separate, they're inextricably linked, somehow. Was it a good story so far? I thought in places it was a little slow. I thought it didn't seem to have that same cutting edge that Sons of Anarchy had. However, it still had lots of ruthless streaks, and not so much coming from the MC side, more coming from the drug cartel side. Very good story, very interesting side, but not necessarily a motorcycle club side. So I think a lot of people who are really into the Sons of Anarchy series and into the motorcycle way of life, let's say, may not necessarily latch onto this as much. It'd be interesting to see how it goes. I understand that it's already been secured for a second series. We'll have to see, how it develops, how this series develops for us in the UK, but also how it develops, for the rest of the fan base. You would imagine it's going to get a huge support from the Latinos, Latin American, but also, that's probably doing it a disservice. It's probably going to get a huge fan base from wherever. Where I say will fail, whilst it does have a lot of Mexican Spanish, speaking, that kind of thing, the Latino vibe, it kind of lets itself down in the opening credits with the song, which is a kind of very much an American song. It kind of needed to be a bit more I don't know, a little bit more border song. Need to be a little bit more Latino flavour, I think, on that. So I don't know. It sets off the whole tone of the program. There is something missing within it. Whether it can be recaptured or not, I don't know. Anyway, so this is the Mayans MC. It just started in the UK with a double header. It's, you know, the story's good. It's not fanciful just yet. You can tell that within the area that it's set, yeah, there's lots of tension. There's going to be lots of stories, lots of different things. But it's not really focused on the MC inner workings as yet. Yes, they've touched on it. There's, you know, between the prospect, the main character, and you know the main characters within the club. Alvarez from the Mayans MC, the character Alvarez has come back. He's playing a couple of cameo roles, certainly for the first 2 series. Whether that continues as well, so he's there in the background. But again, he's more like, they call him the Godfather, El Padrino. It's more like he's the whole national president of their club, and then you got the local president as well. So he's there more of a guide as opposed to the actual lead. But you know, it's a good romp so far. It's tense. It's not as there's not much humour in it. Whereas Sons of Anarchy had a bit of humour at times, certainly in those early programs. I would like to see if it delves more into the club inner workings itself. There are lots of similarities between Sons of Anarchy. You can't get away from it. But it's good that we're seeing another side of it from another club's point of view, another culture, which is really good. Anyway, so be able to watch the first 2 episodes on BBC iPlayer in the UK, and thereafter it's every Saturday night on BBC 2 about 10:30, 10:40 PM. Let's see how it develops, but not a bad start for Mayans MC. Let's see if it can live up to its predecessor. Okay, catch you on the next video. Cheers.